So today we are on a rescue mission. Right in front of me here is my 1978 Chevrolet Nova. And I didn't do the right thing when I bought this car. I got all excited. I got it running okay. Decided I was just going to drive it. And now we are stuck outside of a pet crematorium. It died out on the driveway there. And the car is right there. And our goal today, first off, the reason why it is dead right now is because the needle and floats are stuck. So it's just blowing smoke and flinging gas fucking everywhere and freaking, pardon my language. And I got some bracketry for the alternator. I brought my truck, which is what I'm in now, because it says it's 19 degrees outside. Feels more like 0. We're supposed to get a significant amount of snow. So my goal is to get this historic out of the elements as soon as possible, even though it's obviously already been exposed, because it's less body work. I could leave this thing here for months, but this snow just, it ruins everything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in there. We're gonna get the battery charged up. We're gonna take the alternator that's currently in there out, reinstall the new bracketry that I have. I have extra wire just in case it's not charging the vehicle while it's running. I have belts, and we're gonna just redo the whole engine compartment, get the belts situation and power situation good. After that, I gotta get that float unstuck. So I brought my $30 Harbor Freight kit that I bought last night specifically for this. I don't need, $15,000 worth of tools to work on an old rig. It's a couple bolt sizes. So we're just gonna use that, get it together, make sure she's charging. If she's not, I'm gonna rip one of the batteries out of this Cummins, and that's gonna come along with me so we can get her home. It's only about 15 minutes or so back roads, so let's get to it, and I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. I'm not going to be recording that much because it is cold. I want to get in and out, as efficiently as possible. So I'll get back with you guys once I get the belts and everything hooked up, and then we'll smack on the carb a little bit and see what happens. Good news is it hasn't gotten any warmer. In fact, it's getting colder. I can tell. The snow's supposed to be here in the next hour or so. On a brighter note, and I wish that I knew how to flip this camera around, but focus. We got 14.2 at the battery. So she's charging. I'm not gonna leave yet, and I also plan on taking a battery from my Cummins with me with jumper cables, in case for some reason the car craps out. It's an old Rochester Quadrajet, and they're good. I don't really like complain about them. I can tell you right now, Derek from Vice Grip Garage, he loves them. And by that I mean he doesn't. What I did was I got some juice in there with a can, just sprayed all up in the float area, the needle area. And I took a very small, and by that I mean decently large, household hammer and just kind of smack until the fuel stopped coming out of the overflow. Started idling, Got the idle adjustment up quite a bit because of how cold it is. Messed around a little bit with air fuel, but it was pretty set where it was. And she's been idling for 15 minutes now. Just gonna let her keep doing her thing, and then we'll come back for the truck after I hopefully limp that guy home. It just, if it stalls out, that's gonna be our problem because of the fuel issue. The battery hasn't had a lot of time to charge, so that's why I'm bringing the extra one, just in case I gotta pull over, jump start it, smack on the carb a little bit. I'm only driving 15 minutes, but that's a lot for an old rig, so let's give it a try. Well, update. My phone died on you because I'm in the middle of, was in the middle of a small town called Boonesboro, Maryland. If you know where that is, you probably know everyone's first and last name in the entire county, and have never left. So, don't take that offensive. I think it's cool. Kinda. That's home. It sputtered out one time. Cranked it over. Started. Looked at the carb. Gave it a little pink. And the whole way, I didn't even have to use the truck battery. I didn't have to jump start it. I didn't have to do anything. Made it all the way back. No problems. So, what we're going to do is, it's very hard to see, okay? But we're going to come in here. This is braided metal line that they ran to the carb, and I don't mind it. The problem is that there's stuff in the fuel tank, probably, because it's probably the factory fuel tank, and the guy I bought it from was driving this thing around, so stupid me for assuming that he was actually paying attention to the old gas and crud and whatever else was getting sucked into the carburetor. 99.9% of that is probably what got into the Quadrajet and clogged it all up. I could just rebuild it. I'm not going to do that. I already have a brand new one coming. So we'll get that on whenever it gets here. I mean, it's dumping snow right now, so that'll probably be never, because it's going to snow at least a foot, they're saying, 8 to 12 inches, and then it's going to snow again tomorrow with freezing rain, which means that's going to back everything up. And then next weekend, the last model I saw was 26 inches. So, if we all know how the post office works and USPS, this car is just going to hang out for a while, which is cool, which is totally fine. Once I get the new carb put on, get some tires put on it, put the grill back on, that way the blinkers aren't just dangling. I'm going to get her down the road, do a couple laps, make sure that she can handle it, and then take her about 40 minutes south to my job, where we work on junk like this all day. I actually have a Chevelle right now that we are rebuilding that has the same exact motor. The only difference is they ran, instead of running the factory style bracket like I just did today. It's really hard to see. I'm sorry, I don't have a flashlight. But this chrome bracketry is the factory style, whereas the one that they ran was for aftermarket headers, and it kind of sits on the side of the exhaust and all of that. So, belts held up. Everything's good. We'll get everything put back together, get the new carb on, get it tuned, put the grill back on, get her down to the shop where we can cut the quarters off. There's just holes around the wheels. I don't know if you guys know old Chevy or Pontiac. It's a Ventura. Chevy Nova, Chevy 2, Ventura. That's where they rot. So new quarter panels. There's one hole in the trunk. We're gonna see if that's gonna be fixable with some, little piece of metal, and just kind of zap it on. If not, I'll have to find a new boot cover. Other than that, she's solid. So we'll just keep picking away at it until this car just comes back to life and doesn't look like it was rotting in somebody's yard, because that's what it was. It was just rotting in somebody's yard. She's going to be nice. She runs good right now, but I don't trust any of that fuel system stuff. So that's all coming out. And we're going to put filters, multiple filters, in line to see what comes out of that fuel tank. And if it's bad, we're going to drop that tank and just slap a new one in, new straps, all that, because I'm not messing up this motor more than it might already be. So that's where we're at.